Good evening. This is Freeholder Director Sylvia Patillo. Before we begin, I would like to just call and identify our freeholders to make sure they're on the line. Is Deputy Director Dawn Fantasia on the line?
Yes, thank you.
Is Freeholder Anthony Fasano?
Yes.
Okay. Is Freeholder Josh Hertzberg?
Yes.
And is Freeholder Herb Yardley on the line?
Yes.
Okay, good. Then I'm going to begin, and I want to thank everyone who has called in to be a part of this meeting. Due to public health issues arising from the coronavirus situation, the Sussex County Board of Chosen Freeholders will conduct this meeting remotely via a conference call. Callers are invited to listen and will have an opportunity to make comments by calling 973-310-7191. This is the Freeholder meeting of May 27th, 2020 at 4:30 p.m. And I would like to call this meeting to order. Terry, would you please?
Certainly. Freeholder Fantasia.
Here.
Freeholder Fasano.
Here.
Freeholder Hertzberg.
Here.
Freeholder Director Patillo.
Here.
Freeholder Yardley.
At this time, I would like to ask everyone that's on this conference call to please mute your phones so there are no background noises to disturb the meeting. And when you want to speak, then you can just unmute. So I would appreciate that very much. At this time, would you please stand with us for a moment of silence? And would you join with us in the salute to the flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic,
for which it stands,
one nation,
one nation,
under
God,
indivisible, with liberty
and justice for all.
Thank you very much. Number 4 is a public statement. Pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, PL 1975, adequate notice is defined by Section 3 of Chapter 231, PL 1975, has been made by regular mail. Such notice being submitted on May 19th, 2020, from the Administrative Center of the County of Sussex, located at 1 Spring Street, Newton, New Jersey, to the following: New Jersey Herald, New Jersey Sunday Herald, Star Ledger, WSUS Radio, and WNNJ Radio, and is also posted on the bulletin board maintained in the Administrative Center for Public Announcements, and has been submitted to the Sussex County Clerk in compliance with said Act. At this time, before we approve the agenda, I would like a motion to remove 14H from Resolution 14H from the agenda this evening. Could I please have a motion?
Herb Yardley, I'll make that motion.
Okay.
I'll second, Fantasia.
Thank you, Dawn, very much. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Okay. Now could I have approval of the agenda as amended, please? A motion?
Fantasia, so moved.
Thank you. A second?
Yardley seconds.
Is there any discussion? Okay. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Number 6 is executive session, and I'm going to ask Terry if you would please read that for us.
Certainly. Whereas the subject matters about to be discussed may be excluded from the public portion of the meeting by resolution of the Board of Chosen Freeholders as an exception to the Open Public Meetings Act pursuant to NJSA 10:4-12B, and whereas it appears necessary for the Board of Chosen Freeholders to discuss such matters in executive session, now therefore be it resolved that the Board of Chosen Freeholders of the County of Sussex, in accordance with the provisions of NJSA 10:4-12B and NJSA 10:4-13, that the Board at this time enter into an executive session from which the public shall be excluded, and be it further resolved that the general nature of the subjects to be discussed relate to the following items authorized by NJSA 10:4-12B as designated. Number 6, matters relating to public safety and property, topic, potential litigation. And number 7, matters relating to litigation, negotiations, and attorney-client privilege. Again, topic, potential litigation. Be it further resolved that the deliberations conducted in closed session may be disclosed to the public upon the determination of the Sussex County Board of Chosen Freeholders or provided by law that the public interest will no longer be served by such confidentiality, and be it further resolved that upon completion of the business for which the Board has entered into executive session, the Board shall reconvene and resume its meeting open to the public.
Thank you very much, Terry. For those people that are listening, we are going to go into executive session and we'll reconvene to the public at 5:30. I don't know if you wanted to stay on, but you could call back at the same number and come back onto the conference call at 5:30. Okay, with that, could I please have a motion to go into executive session?
Fantasia, so moved.
Second, Hertzberg.
All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Okay, thank you very much.
The freeholders will be rejoining this meeting.
Carry on, it's Anthony.
Thank you, Anthony.
Dawn is on.
Thank you.
Josh is on.
Thank you.
Good evening. This is Freeholder Director Sylvia Patillo. I thank you for your patience. I just have to ask if I can identify the freeholders to make sure everyone is on this call at this time. Deputy Director Dawn Fantasia, are you on?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Freeholder Josh Hertzberg?
Also here.
Okay. Freeholder Anthony Fasano?
Here.
And Freeholder Herb Yardley? Herb, are you on? I don't have Herb.
I'll send him a text.
Okay, thank you very much. Could I please have a motion to adjourn from executive session?
Fantasia, so moved.
Okay.
And a second? All in favor, please
Yardley.
signify. Oh, thanks, Herb. Okay, all in favor, please
All right,
signify by saying aye.
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 Okay. I'd like to thank everybody who is on this call, and please I would like to ask you that you put your phone on mute until you're actually speaking, so we don't have any background noise. That's greatly appreciated. Okay, we're at number 7 on our agenda for proclamations. We do not have any this evening. Number 8 is public hearings. Again, there are none this evening, so we're going to open up for the first public session from the floor. Now, please let me explain. There are 2 public sessions in every meeting. The first public session is open for any comments on the agenda, anything that's on the agenda. But the last public session is open for anything that you would like to comment on. You're not limited to just the agenda. So for this public session, which is for questions on the agenda, we are asking callers who want to make a comment to first state your name and municipality. The clerk will create a roster and will call each in the order received. Comments are limited to 3 minutes or less. So if there's anyone from the public that would like to speak pertaining to the agenda, could you please say your name now and we'll try to put this in an order. Anyone want to speak on the agenda? Okay, not hearing one. Can I please have a motion to bring it back to the board?
So moved, Fantasia.
A second?
Second, Hertzberg.
All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Thank you. Okay, now we're open to freeholder comments. I'm going to begin with Freeholder Anthony Fasano.
Thank you, Sylvia. Good afternoon, and thank you all for joining us here for another virtual meeting. Before I begin my report, I did want to mention that this past Monday was Memorial Day, and I want to take a moment to thank all of the men and women who have made it possible for us to live freely in this country. Their sacrifices for our freedoms will never be forgotten, and I am forever grateful for it. The state of New Jersey is indisputably enduring a crisis within our state's long-term care facilities. Sussex County is no exception to that, and I would even argue that one facility within our county borders, in Andover specifically, has become the poster child of this very serious issue in our state. Senator Oroho, someone who I know and has been very involved in these issues, has called for legislative hearings into the deaths that New Jersey has sustained at long-term care facilities. And I think that is important. Fully understanding these situations through the review of facts and hearing from those directly involved will enable the identification of those state issues. You can't fix a problem unless you understand what's causing it, and I'm appreciative of Senator Oroho and our legislative leadership for taking those steps necessary to do that at a state level. Meanwhile, Sussex County continues to see a leveling off of positive COVID-19 counts. This comes as the county's testing capacity is still exceeding the demand of those who have a prescription to get tested. Throughout much of April, Sussex County was reporting daily new positive case counts of around 30 to 40 per day. For much of the last 3 weeks, however, the county has been reporting daily case counts of about 1 to 11 per day. That is significant improvement, and that is on track with the numbers being seen in our neighboring Warren and Hunterdon counties as well. And as was announced about 2 weeks ago, those counties, along with us here in Sussex, have been working together to develop a regional strategy for the reopening of our businesses, which will ultimately require the governor's approval. That effort has been progressing quickly, and I think it is close to its final form, and it is so crucial to our businesses that they be permitted to reopen using the already existing measures that have been implemented for essential retail and limited non-essential retail businesses. Business owners here understand the importance of consumer safety and consumer confidence. They all have plans to reopen safely while following the guidance of our health experts and professionals. But to be clear, they don't just want, but they genuinely need the opportunity to reopen safely. And the governor and our state leadership need to understand the consequences of neglect and delay. In my view, we have passed the point of requesting New Jersey to be a business-friendly state. And we are at the point of making a desperate collective plea for New Jersey to be a business-possible state. Finally, I'm truly frustrated to continue to report that Sussex County has received a total of $0 from state and federal aid to help in the frontline fight against COVID-19. All of the county's efforts have been paid for by the county's budget on this front, and the same can be said for Warren, Hunterdon, and Salem County. I am incredibly concerned about the sustainability of this. It makes no sense, no matter how hard the spin is from our state and federal representation, as to why any county in New Jersey would be excluded from aid to combat a virus that sees no county border. If this is a war, then we need access to the same resources and support to win and to ensure the sustained safety and well-being of our residents. And I know that is the focus very much so and has been the focus very much so of Sussex County, and it will continue to be. And for those on this call, I am asking you to please reach out to our federal and state representation to make sure they know that you exist, that this virus exists here in Sussex County, and that we need the help and resources that our neighbors rightfully and deservingly got as well. So thank you, Freeholder Director Patillo, and that concludes my report for today.
Thank you very much. Freeholder Josh Hertzberg, please.
Yes, thank you. So, I want to reiterate what Freeholder Fasano had said. This weekend was a beautiful weekend. I was very lucky. I got to spend it with family. Got to enjoy the outdoors a lot. But the whole time, I did not forget why I have the freedom and why I have the ability to enjoy such a great weekend. And that's because all of the men and women that have served in our armed forces, both past and present, have earned our freedom. I try never to forget and try to always be grateful for what we have in this country. And I always try and remember, especially on that day, the families that have lost loved ones, the families, the mothers, the sisters, the brothers, the husbands, and the fathers who had loved ones that went off to serve and never came home. So I just want to acknowledge their sacrifice and say thank you to all our veterans for this great country that we have. It's going through a tough time right now, but like always, we seem to find our best and strongest resilience in the worst of times, and I think this will be no different. The only problem is we're in the worst financial shape that we have ever been, and that's from the bottom of government up to the very top. It took us something like 70 years to amass $22 trillion in debt, and we had $2 trillion of it in about 2 weeks. 2 new trillion of debt, and we continue to grow. And, I hate to keep harping on the financial aspect of some of these things because, that's the last thing you want to talk about when people are dying. But the fact is that, our children's children will be paying for some of this debt, and we would have been in a much better position to save lives and to help people if we could have afforded to react quicker. And I think that teaches us a tough lesson that as a government, we have to be in better positions to help the people that we serve. And I think, being a little more responsible financially is a way to do that. New Jersey's on the brink of disaster financially because of all the spending and borrowing that's gone on over the last few decades. And I hope this brings about some kind of change. Thank you, Anthony, for pointing out the dramatic drop in cases in the county. I think that makes a great case for us getting back to getting these businesses open. That's been, a big focus up here. These businesses weren't in a position to be able to close for a month, much less 2 months. And, I think they all understand the importance of opening safely. Nobody wants a resurgence. Nobody wants to have to close up again. And I think we can all use some common sense and some good, safe practices to get back out there and help our local businesses. And I hope that's everybody's focus when the governor finally gives the okay. And I'm hoping every day I tune in at 1 o'clock and I'm waiting for him to let people get back to work. And I hope that everybody can do that in a safe manner. We can help our neighbors and all our local businesses, get back to work, because I know they desperately, desperately need that. So with that, I'm going to say thank you and have a good night.
Thank you very much, Josh. Freeholder Herb Yarley. Herb?
Yes, I'm here. Hello?
Okay. Would you please speak? Comments? Thanks.
Okay, we're good. I hope everyone had a wonderful Memorial Day and had time to reflect on the sacrifice, that so many made so we have our freedoms that we have. I did listen, was able to hear us outside at 3 o'clock, and we had in the neighborhood around 3 p.m. Taps was played, and I want to thank one of my neighbors, John, who was a trumpeter, for doing that. And it was just a reminder of the sadness of the day. I have some things I'd like to talk about in regards to the veterans, but I do want to just bring to the attention something that was on Senator Orojo's website about the COVID-19 deaths that happened in the county. And I'm just going to read this. Senator Orojo, Senator Pinocchio, and Senator Declan O'Scallon and Senator Kristen Ferrado said evidence is mounting that thousands of deaths in New Jersey's long-term care facility were preventable, and called on Senate President Steve Sweeney to initiate legislation to prevent a repeat of the tragedy should New Jersey be hit by a second wave of COVID-19. The state and the nation were shocked when news reports broke of dozens of deaths at Andover Sub-Acute, a long-term care facility in Sussex County, said Orojo's staff at many facilities warned that they were ill-prepared for the outbreak, the lack of personal protective equipment, tests, and the ability to segregate residents necessary to keep their vulnerable populations safe. A review of the state's handling of long-term care facilities by the Record, and I'm quoting the Record, shows an administration that was unprepared and overwhelmed as a result of repeated failures to heed warnings and take reasonable precautions. And this seems to be the trend that I see with the state, the executive orders, and this is the trend I see with the state health department. So I just wanted to follow up on that and thank Senator Orojo for doing that. Couple things in regards to our veterans. Just a reminder, Catholic Charities, Social Services with Veterans Families is open. Sussex County Veterans this is something that they've changed. Sussex County veterans are behind in rent, could be eligible for immediate services even without an eviction notice due to changes in the regulations. And so I think that's a change, because when you were getting needed help paying the rent, you used to have a eviction notice, and now they're saying they have new guidelines and you don't have to do that, so they can just go through the hotline at 855-767-8387. They have a food pantry in Franklin that's open, and they're pre-bagging foods, and they're seeing an increase in demand with food, but they have less people donating because people are not working and people are not going out. So unfortunately, that's one thing, but hopefully we'll all get through this. Also, we'll be sending a letter to Senate President Steve Sweeney in regards to helping us get some funding. And what I'm finding out is that there are counties that just are in a situation like us where they did not get funding. And it's horrible that the governor of the state of New Jersey was telling people that you need to be tested, and he wants to make sure that's available to all the citizens of the state and how great that is, and yet he continually will not send us any money so that we can pay for the funding the way other counties around the state are able to do it, and it's coming out of our budget, and this is totally unfair. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Herb. Deputy Director Dawn Fantasia, please.
Thank you. First, again, thank you to some local governments and fire departments, VFWs, American Legions. Although there could not be any large-scale advertised Memorial Day ceremonies, some smaller-scale socially distanced activities happened to honor the fallen, which was wonderful to see. Freeholder Board was able to send a virtual tribute in honor of the fallen, and our thoughts are with the families of all who lost military members fighting for our freedom, so thank you. So I participated last week in a Chamber of Commerce call. As you know, there's always a Freeholder representative to talk about county updates. Again, big thank you to Tammy Horsfield, who really does not rest. She is relentless with her efforts to move the business community along and advocate for them in any way she can. I gave updates from the county perspective, talked a little bit about the bathing facilities that were open under the governor's executive orders. Currently, right now, we have 25 facilities that are open in Sussex County. Some had chosen to delay opening, and if they have any questions, they can contact the health department, but we are up and running in that regard, at the very least here. My big message, in essence, to the state on this issue is, as you can tell, this was not a one-size-fits-all approach to funding the COVID pandemic. 4 counties were excluded, and still we wait. We were not only excluded federally, but then when we asked for those discretionary dollars from the governor's administration, we have yet to receive a penny of that or even hear back regarding that at all. So since funding was not a one-size-fits-all, I don't understand how reopening can be a one-size-fits-all. Our hands are tied behind our backs in our business community, and we need to keep advocating. And legislatively, this board cannot do much by way of opening. I was asked a question whether or not the county could arbitrarily open ourselves with a set of rules and regulations put in place, established by the county. Obviously, we cannot do that and act alone in any legal standing. However, we are aligned with the Coalition of Counties. We received some new information today from Hunterdon County for our review, so hopefully there'll be some more movement on that. But I did, advise the business community the best thing we can do is just remain loud and just demand our rights. As you're aware, there was a lawsuit that was filed. Senator Mike Testa, actually the attorney, he's from South Jersey, that'll be representing the group, and one of the plaintiffs named is a business owner in Sussex County, John Postis, who happens to be a councilman in Franklin Borough, owner of Postis Barber Shop, which has been in business since 1924. He is also a plaintiff alleging that the governor's executive orders are capricious and arbitrary and random. and they do not account for allowing small businesses to enjoy the same options, the same privileges to open as per larger box stores and chains and things like that. So we'll be interested to see how that lawsuit develops. I want to touch on the fact that the governor did make an announcement that there is going to be a cut in education funding widespread. Now I know the secondary schools, elementary schools, and secondary schools are still waiting for specifics on that. But as far as post-secondary schools, meaning our community college, we know that the state share in our county college bonds, we had a funding cycle commitment on $2,800,000 in college bonds. The state share was a debt service on half of that amount, or $1.4 million. Some of the projects that those funds were going to be used for at the college were to continue to update paving on campus, classroom upgrades and renovations, D building, E building, BC building. There were restroom renovations, investment in the new program equipment and facility retrofit, HVAC upgrades on the premises, also security upgrades, fire protection system. And then at the Public Safety and Training Academy, there was some deferred maintenance and to replace the aging air compressor and converter. Now those funds are not coming now from the state of New Jersey based upon the circumstances. So just to kind of let the public know, I know there have been some questions about what those Chapter 12 funds were intended to be used for in past meetings. Wanted to provide some specifics, but also provide the fact that that funding now no longer exists, coming in the form of state matching funds for us. Contact tracing, I received a little bit of information from our health department today. The county receives information of a resident who's positive for COVID-19. A public health nurse contacts that resident. They gather demographic and some medical information to confirm the case. Nurse can offer education, information, and guidance, and then that individual is quarantined for 14 days from the testing date. And the next step is the contact tracing. So the nurse works with the patient to help them recall everyone whom they've had close contact with during that time frame while they may have been infected. So as of now, the county has 3 public health employees who are contact tracers. Public health warns the close contacts of their potential exposure. The contacts are informed they may have been in close contact with a patient who had the infection, and they're provided also with education, information, and support, and they are advised to quarantine for 14 days as well. So that's just a little bit of information on contact tracing. Also, I want to let you know, in light of so many funding issues and funding concerns that we have coming out of the state, Sussex County is going to be applying for a significant amount of grants, and I just wanted to let the public know a few of these. So a New Jersey CARES grant for transit. So the CARES Act provides economic assistance to rural public transportation providers. So 100% federal reimbursement for eligible expenses. So no county matching funds are required for this one. So our county is applying for $1,737,398 for salaries for omnibus operators and administrative staff in transit, fuel, preventative maintenance, and bus repairs, cost of rental of tablets for buses, and to purchase PPE and cleaning supplies. So expenses can be COVID related, but they don't have to be. And unlike other NJ CARES funding, this funding is through the Federal Transit Administration under rural transit funding. So that's what we're applying for there. Also for substance abuse, county's applying to the U.S. Department of Justice for $840,000 to address the opioid epidemic within the county, to engage in proactive and evaluative measures. So we want to augment and support the Sussex County Overdose Fatality Review Team, enhance law enforcement diversion programs, reduce overdose deaths through the provision of information, training, materials, and prevention. We want to increase transitional housing availability and to improve transportation options for people in treatment and recovery programs. So this project has partnerships between the Department of Justice, the New Jersey High Intensity Drug Trafficking Agency, and the Sussex County Division of Sussex County Division of Community and Youth Services, the Division of Health, and Division of Social Services, and the Prosecutor's Office, Sheriff's Department, and the Center for Prevention and Counseling, Medical Examiner, and Atlantic Health System. So this is a really holistic, cooperative group that will work together for this. And then there is one other grant, the JDAI Innovations Grant. The county's been selected to apply for the New Jersey Juvenile Detention Alternatives Initiative Innovation Funding. So this is awarded to counties who continue to demonstrate an active commitment to improving the local juvenile justice by reforming policy and practices. So this year, Sussex County is going to apply for 2 programs. So there's something called the Probation Incentives Program. That's a smaller grant for $5,250. And then there's a Station House Adjustment and Community Engagement Program, and that's a $27,500 grant. And these programs encourage teen success while on probation. And, our police departments in Sussex County with the highest number of youth arrests coordinate together in operating that second grant to increase the number of youth that are diverted from entering the juvenile justice system at the police department level. So in addition to community service for the youth, the police departments will facilitate one community service engagement event once a month for youth on the Station House Adjustment Grant. So that is all the information I have for tonight. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dawn. I would like to just say how wonderful it was to see so many municipalities find a way to have a safe service on Memorial Day. We need to remember the sacrifices that our armed forces made to protect our freedom, and we should never take them for granted. Our patriots paid a huge price to protect our values, and they deserve the thanks of a grateful nation. In the Pacon, our fallen hero, Michael Kerspel Jr., was killed in action on October 27, 2010. The Pacon community loves Michael. We miss him, we thank him, and we will never forget him. Moving on, I would like to speak on testing. The Sussex County Testing Site has been very successful. The county's COVID-19 testing center at Sussex County Community College in Newton is open Monday, Wednesday, and Friday mornings. Testing is available for Sussex County residents 5 years old and older with a prescription. To be tested, you may make an appointment online using the county website, sussex.nj.us. Residents tested to date are 213. Test results received, 190 tests. Negative, 181. Positive, 9. So the positive is 5% of the rate of those 213 tests. As of 5/26/20, the total amount of residents tested in both testing places is 8,330. Total residents negative is 7,236. Total residents positive is 1.094. So the positive rate is 13%. Total deaths is 145. Total positive in long-term care facilities is 254, or 23% of the positive tests from the county. Total deaths in long-term care facilities is 101, or 70% of the death rate in the county. Now, at the Morris County Testing Site, that will remain open for Sussex County residents. Residents must have a prescription and schedule an appointment online at health.morriscountynj.gov. The Morris County College Testing Site is located at Center Grove Road in Randolph in parking lot 1. The center has tested 515 Sussex County residents as of last Friday, May 22nd. Number of test results received is 472. Negatives is 362. Positives 104, which is 22% positive rate. Number of inconclusive or invalid is 6. Now, for people, who do not have access to a vehicle or are undocumented, you can go to the ZUFALL, that's ZUFALL, Federally Qualified Health Clinic. They are providing COVID-19 testing for their patients on Tuesday and Thursday afternoons from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. A person who is symptomatic must first make a telemedicine appointment at ZUFALL Clinic, which is located at 238 Spring Street in Newton. And the phone number is 973-862-6650. Now we have another testing site, actually two of them, and that is the Cvs Testing Site in Byram, Stanhope, which is on Route 206, and the CVS in Sparta at the Theater Center Street. They will be testing for COVID-19. And for more details, you can call the Byram Stanhope CVS store at 973-426-0466 and Sparta CVS at 973-726-3422. The last thing I want to mention that the Division of Senior Services is pleased to announce the availability of the Senior Farmers Market Nutrition Program for 2020. The Senior Farmers Market Nutrition Program provides individuals who are age 60 plus and who meet the financial eligibility with $30 worth of vouchers to purchase fresh fruits and vegetables at participating farm stands in New Jersey. There are many local community farms that participate in this service, and each qualified individual will receive a complete list of the farm stands with their voucher package. The Suffolk County Division of Senior Services urges all eligible seniors to participate in this program. If you do not have the ability to make an appointment and come into our office, homebound seniors who qualify may receive vouchers through a proxy. If you have or need any additional information about the Senior Farmers Market Nutrition Program, please contact the Sussex County Division of Senior Services at 973-579-055 extension 1221, or you can email them at seniorservices@sussex.nj.us. Okay, that completes our freeholder comments. We're going to move on to number 11, which is the approval of our consent agenda, and we have resolutions A and B. The Board of Chosen Freeholders of the County of Sussex has reviewed the consent agenda consisting of various proposed resolutions and determined that adoption of the said resolutions is in and will further the public interest. If any freeholder would like to remove an item to be considered separately, please do so now. Is there anyone that would like to remove A or B? Okay, not hearing anyone, can I please have a motion to approve the consent agenda A and B?
So moved, Fantasia.
Thank you. A second?
Second, Anthony.
Is there any discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
No, I'm sorry, Sylvia. Excuse me. It's a roll call vote.
Oh, roll call. I'm sorry. Terry, please. Go ahead.
That's okay. Freeholder Fantasia.
Yes.
Freeholder Fasano.
Yes.
Freeholder Hertzberg.
Yes.
Freeholder Director Patillo.
Yes.
Freeholder Yardley.
Yes.
Okay, number 12, we have approval of minutes. We have approval of the minutes of special meeting of May 6th. We have to approve the minutes of regular meeting May 13th and approve the minutes of the executive session of May 13th. We were all present for all three of those meetings, so I believe, and Terry, correct me if I'm wrong, that we can take all three of those minutes at one vote. Is that correct?
Yes, you can.
Okay. So could I have a motion to move the special meeting on May 6th, regular meeting May 13th, and executive session May 13th minutes?
So moved, Fantasia.
And second?
Hertzberg.
Is there a discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. We're on 13, which is appointments and our resignations. We do not have any this evening. We'll move to 14, which is resolutions A to G. We have removed from the agenda resolution H earlier during the meeting. So could I please have a motion to adopt said resolutions A to G?
Fantasia, so moved.
Second?
Second, Hertzberg.
Is there any discussion? Not hearing any. Terry, could we have a roll call vote, please?
Freeholder Fantasia.
Yes.
Freeholder Fasano.
Yes.
Freeholder Hertzberg.
Yes.
Freeholder Director Patillo.
Yes.
Freeholder Yardley.
Yes.
Okay, we're on to 15, the awards of contract change orders and bids. The Board of Chosen Freeholders of the County of Sussex has reviewed the award of contract change orders bids consisting of various proposed resolutions and determined that adoption of the said resolutions is in and will further the public interest. May I please have a motion to approve contracts A and B?
Fantasia, so moved.
Second, please.
Yardley, yes.
Second.
Thanks. Is there any discussion? Terry, a roll call vote?
Freeholder Fantasia,
Yes.
Freeholder Fasano,
Yes.
Freeholder Hertzberg,
Yes.
Freeholder Director Patillo,
Yes.
Freeholder Yardley.
Yes.
Number 16 is financial. Tonight we have a resolution to pay the bills. Could I please have a motion to approve the bill list?
Fantasia, so moved.
Second, please.
Hertzberg, second.
Any discussion? Not hearing any. A roll call vote, please, Terry.
Freeholder Fantasia,
Yes.
Freeholder Fasano,
Yes.
Freeholder Hertzberg,
Yes.
Freeholder Director Patillo,
Yes.
Freeholder Yardley.
Yes.
Number 17 is personnel. We have a resolution authorizing personnel agenda of May 27, 2020. Can I please have a motion to adopt the personnel agenda?
Fantasia, so moved.
Second, please.
Second.
Yardley will second it.
Okay, thank you. Is there a discussion? Not hearing any, Chair, may we have a roll call vote?
Freeholder Fantasia,
Yes.
Freeholder Fasano,
Yes.
Freeholder Hertzberg,
Yes.
Freeholder Director Patillo,
Yes.
Freeholder Yardley.
Yes.
Okay, at this time, at number 18, I'm going to turn it over to our Business Administrator, Greg Puff, for his report.
Thank you very much, Director. I'll be very brief. I'm very pleased to report that Standard & Poor's has assigned a rating of SP1+ to the short-term notes that the county will be borrowing, and has also affirmed our existing AA+ rating for the county's existing bonds. And congratulations to Elke Yetter and her team for the good work, particularly having the highest rated short-term notes that Standard & Poor's offers, particularly during these very challenging times. As the board is aware and we've reported to the public, the boards of chosen freeholders in Hunterdon, Warren, and Sussex counties will be calling on Governor Murphy to allow for a regional reopening of businesses in New Jersey's northwest corner, and will be announcing shortly the creation of a gateway to resources for business reopening. This will be a website that provides the latest information on the best practices for commercial reopenings. And also, as everyone's aware, but earlier this week, Governor Murphy announced that the New Jersey Department of Education and the Office of the Secretary of Higher Education will issue updated guidance allowing school districts and colleges and universities to hold modified in-person graduation ceremonies beginning on July 6th. And that concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We do not have a county council report this evening. Is there anyone that wants to bring up any unfinished business from the board? Any freeholders? No, not hearing any. Is there anyone that has new business for the board? Okay, not hearing any. We're at 22, which is the public sessions on the floor. This public session is open for any comments. They do not have to pertain to the agenda. And if you would like to speak, would you please tell us your name and municipality? The clerk will create a roster and will call each in the order received, and everyone is asked to keep their comments to 3 minutes. So if you would like to speak during this session, first I want to make a motion, to open the floor. Could I please have a motion to open the floor for the public comment?
So moved, Fantasia.
Second?
Yardley, yes.
Second, Anthony.
Okay, a voice, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, is there anyone that's on this call from the public that would like to speak during this comment period? Please give us your name and municipality. Just say it. Okay, not hearing anyone, I'm going to ask the freeholders to give me a motion to close the floor to the public comment.
Fantasia, so moved.
Second, please.
Hertzberg, second.
All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay. Reminder for everyone to please check the county's website at www.sussex.newjersey.us for meeting schedules. We are going to go, Craig, do I need to make a motion to go back into executive session? Okay, we're going to go back into executive session, so I need a motion from the board, please.
Fantasia, so moved.
A second?
The second, Anthony, but do we have to indicate if we're coming back to take action or not?
We are not coming back to take action, no.
Thank you.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Okay, and before we leave, I would like to just thank everyone who took the time to call in and be a part of this, and we appreciate your interest in the county. Thank you very much. Good night.